Hi all, good morning. I hope I'm audible. Kindly confirm the audio. Good morning to all of you. Kindly confirm the audio. If you're able to listen to me, kindly confirm the audio. We're talking about the oceans. Pacific Ocean is done. That was one homework which I had given to you. If you have questions on that, you can ask. Okay, so homework is done. Homework is done. Okay, good. So, good morning to all. Well, I was supposed to cancel the classes. Morning class was cancelled yesterday for some time. Then the doctor's appointment shifted to around 1 o'clock. So I thought I can meet you at least for a short duration. Evening class is cancelled. Evening I will not be able to take. So Hindi medium class we won't be able to take. But otherwise we are on spot. Okay. Homework is done. Homework is done. So I had asked you to do what? I had asked you to do Pacific Ocean on your own on the same lines. We had looked at the diagram also. Good morning to all. Good morning to all. We did Atlantic in detail. Most popular one is Atlantic. Then we did Indian Ocean also. And this Pacific was class plus homework. The diagram we had done, the introduction to the ocean I had given to you. And I hope you have looked at the continental margins, the 5 things that we were looking at. Continental margins. Then we looked at the ridge system. We saw that the ridge is only on the eastern side, the eastern ridge and the Albatross Plateau. Then what? Then in this we had basins plus trenches, lot of islands. Lot of islands were there. Get that? And marginal water bodies. Marginal seas, a lot of them, particularly in the north. Particularly in the north. Get that? So this is what I had asked you to look at. I'm sure you have done that. This was there in the NCRT also. Just in case you haven't done that and you are looking for some more inputs on that, I have some inputs for you. So this is what we are looking at. इसमें बहुत अच्छा ridge आया नहीं है. Okay. So Pacific Ocean covers 1/3 of the area. This is just sharing of what you can take, that it is extending from Cape Adare in south to Bering Strait in the north. It is broad triangular, 11,000 miles, and continental shelf. Okay, the shelf, when we were talking about shelf, where is it? Shelf is wider along the eastern coast of Australia, East Indies, which is your the archipelago of Indonesia and Philippines, and Asia continent. There we have the broad ones. I hope you remember I had shown you in the diagram that was there. Uh, on this are situated various islands, Kuril, Japan, Philippines, Indonesia. Yesterday I showed you. This broad shelf also encapsulates inland seas. So इसी पर inland sea भी है. Remember Bering Sea, Okhotsk Sea, Sea of Japan, Yellow Sea and China Sea. They are all on that. And if you have looked at the Indonesian archipelago, you will find Banda Sea, Sulu Sea, Java Sea, Flores Sea. I hope you have had a look at that. वो सारे sea इसी shelf में हैं. Mostly the shelf is on the southwest side of it, the Australian side as well as this archipelago or the Chinese side. The ridge does not have a distinct central ridge. A few submarine ridges are noticed, especially on the eastern margin, and East Pacific Ridge is one. East Pacific Ridge, and the expansion is called Albatross Plateau. Okay. The northeast projection, this one extends into a ridge which is called the Cocos Ridge. So इसी का Eastern Pacific Ridge का extension towards I think Central America is called the Cocos Ridge. दो ridge उधर हो गया. The northeast projection, that's it. इससे ज़्यादा हमें नहीं करना है. Parallel to the Chilean coast. That's what we are looking at. That's what you will be depicting on that. Islands, a vast ocean is dotted with more than 20,000 islands. I had mentioned that yesterday. And these islands are grouped into Melanesia, Micronesia, Polynesia. Apart from marginal seas, the ocean is studded with thousands of these islands. Islands three category में है. Three category islands: continental islands, island arcs, and scattered islands. Continental island is an island which is a part of the continent only, but water has come, and that is why a section of the continent seems from the top view apparently separated from the continent. So continent से थोड़ा gap आ गया because बीच में पानी आ गया. A good example was Madagascar for Africa. A good example is near home Sri Lanka for India. Sri Lanka, India, same continental plate है, बीच में पानी आ गया. So when we are talking about this, such islands are here. Aleutian Island is an example. British Columbian Islands and Chilean Islands. I hope you remember Chile का जब हम south coast पर जाते हैं, when we go to Chile, the south coast of Chile looks like this. The coastline looks like this. Yes, so this is Chile. So this is how it looks. Similarly, if you go and check British Columbia, where we have Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Vancouver Island, छोटू बहुत सारे islands हैं. They are actually the submerged part of the continent itself. So that is why we have talked about that. Then we have the island arc. When two plates subduction is happening all along the length, islands will be created, and that chain is called an arc due to plate movement. And in this we have the Kurils, the Japanese, and the Philippines and Indonesian archipelago. And ऐसा ही कुछ question, I imagine. We had a question in GS. Some of you who have done world geography with me, UPSC has asked us a question. Examine the reason for thousands of islands in Pacific Ocean. And many people did not look at much on that, and some people did mention that there are tectovolcanic island because of island arcs. I'm saying three categories we need to talk about in this Aleutian, British Columbia and Chilean island also. So when we are looking for marks, we need to put in different categories and different examples. Yes, उसके अलावा छोटे छोटे scattered islands भी हैं which have been divided into Melanesia, Micronesia and Polynesia. These islands are local volcanoes like Hotspot, which is Hawaii. And there are also coral islands like Fiji and Funafuti. So for GS students, we don't go that much in detail, but for optional student, if the question was why thousands of islands, Why there are thousands of islands? We will have to put them in these categories to get good marks. Is everyone okay? So Pacific Ocean, I do not know whether you have included islands or not to that extent. My suggestion is I am going out of the screen so that you can have a look at this, pause on this, and you can update your notes on Pacific Ocean on this. Done, everyone? Okay. So now we go to the next part of Pacific Ocean. Now that you have looked at the continental margin, where it is wide, where are the islands, two parts done. Third one is the trenches. So this is known for its trenches and deeps. 32 deeps are recorded in Pacific, out of which most of these trenches are longitudinal deep areas. They are parallel to island arcs or mountain chain. We have already looked at that. This thing has been there. Aleutian, Kuril, Philippines, Narrow Deep. Narrow Deep extends along the Mariana Islands, known as also known as the Mariana Trench, with the highest depot recorded at Mansiu, or you can also, as I said, like these are local names, Challenger Deep. And in the south, we have the Tonga Kermadec Trench. Yes. And then we have the Peru Chile Trench. So these are the main ones which you can show in the map. Zones of Pacific Ocean. When we are looking at zones of Pacific Ocean, तो इसमें क्या आएगा? Northern zone is touching the Arctic region. Abundance of trenches are there. So already you know Japan Trench, Yuku Trench. Yes, all those trenches are there. Central zone has a lot of islands and seamounts, where we have the Hawaii and the Polynesia, Micronesia, that's there. And then what is there? Southwestern zone are numerous marginal seas. Southwestern zone, remember all those Sulu Sea, Banda Sea, Philippine Sea, Yellow Sea, Japan Sea, that is your southwestern. And then marginal seas are missing in the southeastern zone, where there is a prominence of ridge. So this is a very beautiful summary of what the ocean bottom looks like. Yes. Do we get that? अर्चित बोला सर कल वाला मैं नोट्स देख रहा था, उसमें वेस्ट और ईस्ट में कुछ गड़बड़ हुआ है, बस चेक कर लो उसमें कल जो कराया है. यस, वी हैड रिटन दैट. किसका हुआ है ये? इंडियन ओशन का, ईस्ट इंडियन अंटार्कटिक रिज और करग्यूलन गॉसबर्ग रिज. उतना डिटेल वैसे भी नहीं चाहिएगा. नीचे जाकर जो आपकी रिज है, चागोस रिज, पहले लाखाद्वीप चागोस होगी, चागोस के बाद हमारा सेंट क्या था वो, एंड देन आफ्टर दैट वी हैड द लास्ट वन इज करग्यूलन अंटार्कटिक. ये ऑलमोस्ट सेम रिज है, फैला हुआ रिज है. ईस्ट वेस्ट में कुछ बुक्स उसे सिंगल भी दिखा सकती हैं. ठीक है, सो डोंट वरी ऑन दैट. ईस्ट इंडियन अंटार्कटिक रिज. पैसिफिक ओशन, पैसिफिक का नॉर्थ क्या है? डीप ओशन, वास्ट ट्रेंचेस, दैट इज द होल पार्ट ऑफ इट. सेंट्रल जोन में माइक्रोनेशिया, मिलानेशिया, वेरी गुड समरी ऑफ व्हाट डज द ओशन बॉटम लुक लाइक. Southwest has numerous marginal seas and islands, where we have the archipelagos of Indonesia, Philippines. Yes, marginal seas are missing in the southeastern zone. Southeastern zone आपने देखा एकदम खाली है, वहाँ पर सिर्फ पेरू ट्रेंच है. और अगर ओशन के बॉटम में जाएंगे तो ईस्ट पैसिफिक रिज और एल्बेट्रॉस प्लेटू. ईस्ट पैसिफिक रिज, एल्बेट्रॉस प्लेटू, और उसका एक्सटेंशन लेना हो तो कोकोस रिज. डू वी गेट दैट? ओशन बेसिन्स के नाम यहाँ पर भी होंगे. Several depressions are there. Aleutian के पास Aleutian Basin, Fiji के पास Fiji Basin, East Australian Basin, South Australian Jeffrey Basin. Now there's so many names, as I told you. By now 2 of them you have already seen. So हमने उसको बहुत ही सिंपल में किया था, नॉर्थ पैसिफिक बेसिन वेस्ट और ईस्ट में साउथ कर दिया था. वेस्ट वाले को दे कैन कॉल इट एज ऑस्ट्रेलियन बेसिन ऑल्सो. सो आई हैव नो इश्यूज अबाउट दैट. इज एवरीवन ओके? सो जो आपका मटेरियल में हैंड आउट में भी हम डाल देंगे और जो एनसीईआरटी में लिखा है विल स्टिक टू दैट, नॉट एडिंग टू मच टू दैट. Marginal seas are mostly located on the western part of the ocean. We've already looked at that. At different forms, the Atlantic, they are narrow. On the western part, the important seas are Bering, Aleutian, Okhotsk, Sea of Japan, Yellow Sea, East China, South China, Celeb Sea, Banda Sea. The eastern part is Gulf of California और British Columbia के पास जो है, that's it. So north में ही है जो भी है. I think we are comfortable with that. Oceans, ocean bottoms, everyone comfortable? Homework के साथ भी, as I said, homework was one area. Other area was that you also get that. Done? So थोड़ा सा जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी और ओशनोग्राफी कॉम्बो कर लें आज. आई थॉट ऑफ अ सिंपल टॉपिक टुडे because as I told you, I don't have time for a longish class. So I thought of combining them. ठीक है? तो एक छोटा टॉपिक लेते हैं आज. And when I was doing a geomorphology also, I told you I will be talking about this in oceanography. And when I promise, तो मैं उसको डिलीवर करता हूँ. आप भूल जाओ, मैं उसको लेकर आता हूँ. ये है सी लेवल चेंज. आज का टॉपिक सी लेवल चेंज प्लस कोस्टल जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी. चलेगा? आज बहुत सी चीज़ें समझेंगे. दिस इज़ अ गुड कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्लास दैट वी आर गोइंग टू हैव ऑन सी लेवल चेंज. एंड इस पे डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन भी आते हैं, इनडायरेक्ट भी आते हैं. विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट. सो फॉर लैंडफॉर्म्स, विच लैंडफॉर्म्स आई हैव डन विद यू इन द क्लास separately? I've done with you landforms of river, fluvial landforms. I've also done with you glacial landforms, and I've also done with you the wind blown landforms. तीन हो गए. आज कोस्टल भी कर दें. ओके. फ्लूवियल, एवोलियन, ग्लेशियल हो गया. एंड आई टोल्ड यू टू डू सेल्फ स्टडी, जिसके लिए आप सिर्फ लड़ रहे थे. अब ये चौथा भी हो गया. ये भी आज क्लास में अच्छे से कराया जाएगा. सो लिखो क्वेश्चन. एक्सप्लेन emergent and submergent coastlines. Explain emergent and submergent coastlines and associated landforms. Explain emergent and submergent coastlines. Emergent and submergent coastlines. Sea level changes. That's our topic. Coastal processes and landforms or landscape. एक ये क्वेश्चन आ गया. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. व्हाट आर हाई एनर्जी एंड लो एनर्जी कोस्ट लाइन्स? What are high energy and low energy coasts? Examine sea level changes and their global impacts. ऐसे क्वेश्चन आते हैं इस टॉपिक से. डू वी गेट दैट? ऐसे क्वेश्चन आते हैं इस टॉपिक से. सी लेवल चेंज की बात कर रहे हैं हम, कोस्टल प्रोसेसेस और लैंडफॉर्म्स की भी बात कर रहे हैं. डू वी गेट दैट? और एक और चीज मैं बता देना चाहता हूं. This is land. Suppose this is land. This is mean sea level. MSL. If there is a rise in mean sea level and the sea level has come here, this is called the rise in sea level. This will be called as positive movement. And if there is fall in sea level, it will be called as a negative movement. Positive and negative. ठीक है. सो ये पहला कॉन्सेप्चुअल थिंग है. ये स्टार्ट में ही क्लियर होना चाहिए. एवरीवन सिटिंग हियर शुड अंडरस्टैंड. टेल मी if the land rises with respect to the sea. Is it possible for the land to rise with respect to the sea? Is it possible for land to rise with respect to the sea? Remember Davis, remember Penck, remember the cycle rejuvenation. Land may get risen up. Yes, rejuvenation. If land gets risen up, please tell me a case of positive movement or a negative movement. Case of a positive movement or a negative movement. Division, endogenetic uplift has happened. Second cycle has begun. Positive movement or negative movement. Land has gone up. पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव. एक पॉजिटिव कह रहा है, एक नेगेटिव कह रहा है. एक पॉजिटिव कह रहा है, एक नेगेटिव कह रहा है. So everyone, positive and negative movement will always be your water. Finally water क्या हुआ with respect to land? जब land उठ गया, so water relatively went down or not? Rise of land is negative movement. Do we get that? अगर लैंड उठ गया तो आपका पानी क्या था? मीन सी लेवल जहां तक वो कर रहा था टच, अभी नीचे चला गया कि नहीं इफेक्टिवली? सो दैट्स नेगेटिव मूवमेंट. इज एवरीवन ओके? नाउ इन अंटार्कटिका द आइस इज मेल्टिंग. ओशंस आर रिसीविंग मोर वाटर. एज अ result, now again the sea level is changing. Negative movement or positive movement? Negative movement or positive movement? Sea level change because of ice melting in Antarctica. Sea level change because of ice melting in Antarctica. That's a positive change. Is everyone clear? So whenever you are in doubt, imagine this is the land, and this was the place that was wet by the water. If the land goes up, now that part is not wet, this is negative movement. If the land subducts, If the land goes down, that is also positive movement. Is everyone clear on this? एक बार फिर से सुन लेना whatever I said and you will be clear on this. Let us go to coastal processes. Coast में कौन सी process काम करती है? Coastal processes में काम होता है waves. Waves, coastal waves, sea waves. These are generated by winds. Generated by winds. Normally, tidal and tsunami waves also possible generated by winds in normal circumstances. This is there. Near that, what are waves going to do? Waves are going to, as they collide with the coastline, act as exogenetic modifier. Is everyone okay? Act as exogenetic modifier. Waves have energy, they will collide. Will be involved in erosion, transport and deposition activities. Is everyone okay? तो ये जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी का रिवीजन चल रहा है. इरोजन, ट्रांसपोर्ट, डिपोजिशन, all three will be there. Yes, it will depend upon the energy of the wave and the topography. If the wave is stronger than the coastal rocks, wave will break it and take all the sediments away. Get that? So that's a high energy wave. That coastline is called high energy coastline. So what will that wave do? Repeatedly come with thousands of pounds of ton force hitting the coastline again and again, weakening it, breaking it, cracking it, finding ways to enter it. That is what will happen, and all the things which are falling down, wave will take it away. तो ये क्या कर रहा है? इरोजन पे कर रहा है. दिस इज द हाई एनर्जी कोस्ट. But if the waves are weak, they will come and touch the coast. ज़्यादा तो मार नहीं पाएंगे, but because they are hitting them, the sediments will fall and get collected there only. Yes or no? So in that area, you will see more of deposition. That sort of a coastline is called low energy coast. Did we understand? High energy, low energy. Emergent coast, submergent coast. Emergent क्या कर देगा? Negative movement, positive movement. Do you understand the words? Why did I use the word positive, negative? I want my students to be comfortable with the vocabulary. So erosion भी करेगा, transport भी करेगा, deposition भी करेगा, but will depend upon what? Will depend upon the energy of the wave. If the wave is strong enough, it will not only break but take away things. But if the wave is weak, if it is breaking, it will not be able to transport it. वहीं छोड़कर जाएगा. This happened in the river also. When the river was strong in its youth, it had the ability to not only break but also take. So we found that in the upper or the youthful stage, the river does not have much sediments. In fact, sediments are coarse sediments. Yes or no? Coarse rounded stones, boulders, cobbles, pebbles, and बहुत मिट्टी नहीं होती. So आपका पैर में बहुत मिट्टी नहीं आएगी. But if you reach the delta, से द डेल्टा ऑफ गंगा ब्रह्मपुत्र सुंदरबन, उधर जाएगा तो सिर्फ मिट्टी मिट्टी होगी, लॉट ऑफ मिट्टी, दोज आर एकदम डर्टी, पानी ज्यादा दिखेगा. So depends on the stage of the river. Similarly, depends upon the energy of the wave. Everyone with me on this? Everyone with me on this? ये बेसिक चीजें हैं. If you have written this, if you want to ask anything, these are all understood. But still, if you want, I can talk about it. ये बताइए, what will decide the energy of the wave? Why some waves are energetic and some waves are not energetic? Who will decide the energy of the wave? कुछ waves energy हैं, कुछ waves में low energy. Quickly. Energy of the waves. So everybody is writing velocity of the wind. Very good, but not the answer. What will decide the energy of the wave? Wind speed is 1. Every student is only talking of wind speed. ये गड़बड़ है. Wind speed. This is the coastline. This is the water. And you're saying the wind will decide what will be the velocity of the waves. I get that. Wind. हाँ जी, डेप्थ ऑफ वाटर. डेप्थ ऑफ वाटर. अब हम कोस्ट पर चल रहे हैं, कोस्ट लाइन की बात हो रही है. कोस्ट इज शैलो. थोड़ा सा और. अर्चित कह रहा है ड्यूरेशन ऑफ विंड. चाचा विंड को छोड़कर, विंड को छोड़कर. अच्छा, टेल मी वेयर विल द विंड्स बी स्ट्रॉन्गर? और सॉरी, वेव्स बी स्ट्रॉन्गर. ए और बी? ए और बी? Can we see that in situation B, because we have a wider continental shelf, as a result, what will happen? The continental shelf will slow down the winds, slow down the waves, because the energy that is being transferred, will the shelf take on that energy or not? So यहाँ पर जो waves आएंगी और यहाँ जो आएंगी उसमें अंतर होगा ना? True or not? Think about a third coastline and which has a lot of sediments भी हैं इधर. There is a submarine barrier also. This can be a coral reef barrier, this can be a sediment barrier, कुछ भी हो सकता है. So when the waves are coming, will the energy of the waves get dissipated here or not? True or not? So can I say the coastline, the coastal features, the coastal features will also determine the strength of this, the strength of the waves which are going to hit. So most of you started talking only about the wind. Your idea was absolutely correct, but as I said, idea was correct, but the idea was limited. Everyone with me on this? Are we clear? चलिए, तो अब कोस्ट पे चला जाए. most of you haven't visited a coast. पहले इसमें घूम कर आते हैं. ये तो थोड़ा सा बेसिक आपको बताया. हाँ जी, कोस्ट लाइन ऐसी दिखाई देती है. द कोस्ट लुक्स लाइक दिस. ठीक है. द कोस्ट विल हैव सो मेनी थिंग्स विच आर कमिंग ओवर हियर. व्हाट आर दीज? Wave cut platform, a headland, a cliff, a beach, a collapsed cliff, a bay, a stack, an arch, a cave, a wave cut notch, beach backed by dunes. Spit is there, tidal estuary is there, bar is there, coastal dunes are there, salt marshes are there. These are the waves which are coming. These are the waves which are coming. And at the edge of it, the vertical wall is called a cliff. Vertical wall is called a cliff. Get that? So waves are coming. And then what do we have? The place where people are there, you will find that there is a low tide shoreline, a high tide shoreline. So there is low tide में पानी यहाँ तक आ जाता है, फिर उसके बाद high tide में the water goes up also. So low tide, only this level is getting filled up, and this is the high tide. That's what we are talking about. And this area has the deposition of sand also. This is your beach. बीच में एक एरिया शोर होता है जहां तक आपका the wave is reaching, and this is near shore. Near shore is which is getting your low tide region. इतना ज़्यादा हमें करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, बट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस. ये जो लो टाइड का जो बेल्ट होता है, रिमेंबर लो टाइड टू हाई टाइड, what word did we use for this low tide to high tide line? Did we call it littoral? Remember, did we call it littoral or not? Low tide to high tide. After that is pelagic. Pelagic को ये बोलते offshore. Offshore. So ये वाला area, this line when we are talking about the low line, is तक always submerged. After this, it will always be submerged. But this area, sometimes submerged, sometime emerge. Sometimes submerged, sometime emerge. This is also called the intertidal zone. Everyone, do you understand the littoral or intertidal zone? And after that, we have the offshore zone. I hope everyone is comfortable. थोड़ा सा सिर्फ vocabulary. थोड़ा सा vocabulary. Do we get that? जब हम शोर में बात करें, फोर शोर जोन इज द वन वेयर जहां पर आपका वेव रीचेस, वेव विल गो एंड टच. सो वेव जब जाता है उसको बोलते हैं स्वॉश ऑफ द वेव, एंड व्हेन द वेव रिटर्न्स दैट इज कॉल्ड द बैक वॉश. Swash and backwash. When the wave is coming towards the coast, that is called swash. So who's responsible for hitting the coast, swash or backwash? Who will cause erosion? Who will cause erosion and the breaking, swash or backwash? Who will cause erosion? जाकर मारेगा, हिट मारेगा. कौन मारेगा हिट? Swash will go and hit. So when the wave is rushing towards the coast, that is called swash. It will go and hit. Will it break the rock? Will it break the rock or not? So imagine this was a coastal mountain. This was a coastal mountain. Do we get that? Who's coming and hitting it? Who is coming and hitting it? The wave is coming and hitting it when the tide is high. When the tide is high, the wave comes and hits the coast. Hits it. Since the wave cannot rise above this, what will it do? It will start hitting this again and again, and finally what will happen? इस तरह से the wave will cut the lower part of it. Yes or no? इसको क्या बोलते हैं? द वेव विल क्रिएट अ नॉच. व्हाट विल द वेव क्रिएट? Wave will create a notch. Everyone with me? With time, what will happen? The notch will become deeper. Deeper notch will be called what? Notch से क्या बन जाएगा? Notch से बन जाएगा cave. Is everyone okay? First, a notch is created. Notch is created at the bottom of the mountain. Why not top? Remember, even wind action is only on the lower levels. So कहाँ तक notch हो सकता है? जहाँ तक high tide होगा. Only to the height of high tide. This is the maximum that the water goes. Notch, notch, notch. Now tell me, this area. This area is heavy or light? All this area is heavy or light? So these are rocks. These are very heavy. These are very heavy. So when the cave is getting deeper and deeper, if you are standing here, is it dangerous or not? Can a point come? That this entire thing, which is unsupported by the bottom, breaks and falls into the ocean? Breaks and falls into the ocean, and we get this. So किसने किया? इसको पीछे भेज दिया कि नहीं? True. This has been pushed back. The whole thing has been pushed back. इसको क्या बोलेंगे? Cliff retreat. The cliff will get retreated. Formerly the cliff was still here. Can I say this new area, new flat area has been created? Can I call this as an erosional surface? Yes or no? Previously there was cliff till this point. But now the cliff has fallen down and that flat surface is created. Can I call this as an erosional surface? Remember peneplain, pan plane, cryoplane, H plane and all that? Yes. This smooth surface is called the wave cut platform. So if I say the erosive action of waves lead to the creation of a cliff and a wave cut platform, is everyone okay with this? Are you okay with it? Yes or no लिख दो जल्दी से. लिख दिया? Yes. How many of you understand how is this created? Have they written wave cut cliff and have they written wave cut platform की जगह क्या बोल दिया? Bench. Another name for platform is bench. जान तो नहीं दोगे? वेव का इरोजन समझ में आया? Remember, a similar thing was happening in the Aeolian features when we were doing mushroom rocks. Remember the rock नीचे से कट गया? Yes, but यहाँ पर तो coast है, so coast में it will fall and those cliffs will be there. Cliffs कैसे दिखाई देंगे? ऐसे दिखाई देंगे. So can you see this is the coastline? Can you see cliffs? True or not? And can you see when we are trying to enter inside, an arch is created? Can you see they have written first a notch is created? एक notch है wave cut notch. When the notch becomes deeper, goes inside, what we call it, wave cut cave. Everyone okay with a cave and a notch? Wave cut platform, wave cut cliff starts with wave cut notch and wave cut cave. Coastal erosional features. Wave makes inroads into wave makes inroads into coastal rocks by what? Through the process of wave cut notch, wave created cave. केव भी बन जाएगी, yes or no? Then we have wave created cliff, also called as escarpments, with bold and steep relief. Retreat remember that parallel retreat type हो रहा है, yes, nearly flat wave cut platform or bench. Everyone okay? Get that? This is ocean. Get that? Ocean. Waves. Waves are coming, yes or no? Waves are coming on this. And this is the coastline. This is the coastline. This is the coastline. Is the wave hitting coastline at 90 degrees? Is the wave perpendicular to the coastline in my case? Is the wave perpendicular to the coastline in my diagram? No, the wave is not perpendicular to the coastline. Perpendicular to the coastline होता तो ऐसा होता. It is hitting at an angle. It is hitting at an angle. Is everyone okay? Now here I have some hard rock. Here I have some very hard rock. Very, very hard rock. The river will start, the waves are going and hitting these areas. Is there a tendency for the wave to hit this area, this coastline? ठीक है? Now it is hitting at A, B and C. Where is the chance of the wave eroding the coastline? Or all ABC have the same chance? All ABC, do they have the same chance or not? A, B are easy to erode. C will resist. Get that? So what will happen? What will happen when the wave strikes the coast? It will hit and it will move back perpendicular to the coast. जब भी वापस जाएगी perpendicular जाएगी. But in the process, this wave has broken this part. इसको तोड़कर जाएगा. Yes or no? True. Can I say with time, the coast will look like this? What is this process called as? Bay formation. Embayment. So waves will create bays. Is everyone okay? What will the bay have? What will the bay have? Because the rocks are broken and the wave is going back. Whenever it comes, it collides and it goes back. Will these sediments be deposited here or not? So will we have the coast of the bay full of sand? Possible or not? Yes. How many of you understood how is this bay and beach created? How many of you understood how a bay is created and how beach sand is created along the bay? Understood? Bay कैसे बनता है? True. And can you also see ये वाला area क्या होगा? Can I say this was the resistant rock? Everyone? Resistant rock held out. Yes, resistant rock held out. That is called a headland. Headland क्या होता है? जो पानी में प्रोजेक्ट करता है. The resistant part of the coast which is projecting into the water, that is called the headland. Headland. Is everyone okay? Headland. अब headland कैसा होगा? Is it flat or is it a vertical wall? If it is a vertical wall, that wall of the headland, that face of the headland is called cliff. Cliff is what? The vertical face is called cliff. What is headland? The resistant one which is protruding into the sea is called headland. Everyone with me on this? वापस आ जाए. Did you understand what is embayment? ऐसे बे बनता है और बे में ऐसे ही बीच बनता है. Beach. And with time what happens? The coast looks like this. So this is the coast and ये जो protruded part है, protruded part is what? The protruded part is called the headland. इसी को आप headland कहते हैं. You also call this as cape or peninsula. Everyone, do we get that how coastal landform is being created? Coastline recedes in weaker rock zones to create what? Bays, inlets and beaches. Resistant protruding landmass forms what? Headland, cape, peninsula. ठीक है, with steep cliff face and and wave cut platforms at bottom. हो सकता है बीच भी किस पर होता है, वेव कट प्लेटफॉर्म पर होता है. एवरीवन, डिड वी अंडरस्टैंड द प्रोसेस और नॉट? अब टेल मी वन थिंग, if I have a bay, if I have a bay, and we were talking about the energy of the waves, will the bay protect from the wave energy or not? Imagine the hit that this was taking. Imagine the hit that point X was taking and the hit that point Y will take. Is the bay protecting it or not? Yes or no? बे में बीचेस लोगों के लिए रहने के लिए जगह हो जाएगा. विल इट बिकम अ टूरिस्ट प्लेस ऑल्सो? यस और नो? इफ आई हैव टू ओपन अ होटल, दैट्स ऑल्सो देयर. ट्रू. एंड इफ बेज आर डीपर, इफ द गवर्नमेंट हैज टू क्रिएट अ पोर्ट, पोर्ट भी उधर बन सकता है. बनेगा कि नहीं बनेगा? विल इट ऑफर प्रोटेक्शन अगेंस्ट द सी? ट्रू. Now everyone, tell me one thing. Tell me one thing. Generally, on the coastline, if the waves are coming like this, waves will always bounce back. Waves will always bounce back perpendicular to the coastline. Yes or no? This is A and this is B. Whenever the swash hits the coast, the backwash will always be perpendicular to the ground. Can you see in the motion B, in the situation B, if there is a particle, the particle will be moving in this motion. So is the particle moving in a zigzag motion or not? Is the particle moving in a zigzag motion? इधर तो आया, इधर गया, it hits here and it comes back. But here, can you see the particle is going to move in a zigzag motion along the coast? Yes? Is everyone okay? So can I say this area is full of sediments? This area is full of sediments. But tell me one thing, that effectively with time, when the water enters this bay, zigzag, will the water have a tendency to flow parallel like this also or not? Though the winds are coming towards the coast, but in the bay, the water will be pushed, and will the water flow like this or not? So can I say that there is one motion of sea water which is coming towards the coast at different angles and other is parallel to the coast? So waves are hitting the coast at an angle. I agree. It can be perpendicular. It need not be perpendicular. It can be multiple angles. But can I say that there is a component of water which is also flowing parallel to the coastline? Parallel to the coastline. Is everyone with me on this? Possible or not? True. Now, if sediments are jumping here and all that, and if that parallel flow of water is flowing like this, will it transport the sediments along or not? This parallel flow has a name. This is called long shore drift. The water flowing parallel to the coast, not along the waves. Waves will come and hit, but there is a parallel flow of water also, very slow, and that is why it is not called a current, it is called a drift. And that is called a long shore drift. Is everyone with me on this? I'm just looking at coastal processes. I'm just looking at coastal processes. So everyone, did we understand? Everyone, did we understand what is a cliff? What is a wave cut platform? Yes. Did we understand how beaches are being formed? How beaches are being formed? Did we also understand swash and backwash? Swash and backwash भी समझ में आ गया? Yes. Did we also understand that the waves are coming and cutting the coast through the power of the waves? And when this is happening, the waves will generate some bays, embayment will happen, indentations on the coast will also happen. One is the rock will be broken by a notch and a cave, but progressively the coastline will also have such bends, and those are called inlets or bays. Is everyone okay with the bayment, embayment process also? So we have looked at the bays also, how these bays are being created. And then I said that there is a flow of water that is nearly parallel to the coast, and that is called longshore drift. I'm talking to you about the coastal processes and landforms. Did we understand the coastal process of cliff retreat? Did we understand the coastal process of the what do we call it, wave cut प्लेटफॉर्म और वेव कट बेंच? क्लियर हो गया सभी को? अब इसको थोड़ा सा और आगे लेके जाते. वी आर लुकिंग एट इरोजनल लैंडफॉर्म्स, coastal erosional features and processes. Now we are coming with more erosional landforms. इरोजनल तो मोस्टली होगा, तो डिपोजिशनल में आना शुरू होगा. ओके, लेट अस लुक एट दिस. सो दिस पार्ट इज द वेव एंड, अच्छा ये कुछ रह गया, आर्च, स्टैक एंड केव. हाँ जी, ये रह गया. So वैसा तो आई एम नॉट वेरी श्योर whether my drawing will come good or not, but let's see. कुछ तो बनाया मैंने, जो भी बनाया मान लो. The sea waves are coming here. This is the coastal area, that what I am looking at, and this is a bay. This is a bay. Hear that? This is a bay. Ab in the bay, can I say the waves will hit here? Waves will hit here, true or not? So what will the waves create? Create a notch. Waves will create a notch on this side. What is this? Can I call this? This is the headland. Waves will create a notch. और इधर क्या होगा? इधर एक बीच बना होगा. Everyone, can you imagine that there will be a beach also over here? So can I say एक नॉच है तो इधर एक वेव भी होगा, इधर एक केव भी हो सकता है. There can be a deeper one, cave. Yes, everyone possible. Now this headland, everyone, used to extend up to this point, but अभी हमको ऐसा दिखाई दे रहा है. This headland used to extend up to this point. Now it is showing to us like this. This is water. All this area is water. All this area is water. This side also water. Now what is this? On both the sides, a cave from this side, a cave from that side, both of them merge with each other. They merge with each other, and what do they form? ये क्या बना है? What is this called as? This is called an arch. What is this called? ये जो structure बना, where you have a gap, this is called an arch. Everyone, notch, cave, arch. Are we clear? Notch, cave, and arch. Arch is when two caves of a headland meet. Two caves of a headland. Can I say notch is the first stage? Second stage is cave, and the third stage is an arch. Everyone with me? Now I also find something like this in the ocean. In this ocean, I also find something like this. मुझे कुछ ऐसे फीचर्स भी मिल रहे हैं. What are these called? So these are called your stacks. What are these? These are your stacks and stumps. How are they formed? Well, formerly they were also a part of an arch. In the past, they were a part of an arch. Now what happened? The roof of the arch collapsed. So in the past, they were also a part of the arch. And that thing collapsed, and as a result, these are left behind. Is everyone okay with stacks, stumps? Notch will turn into a cave. Cave from either side of the headland, when they meet each other, सब एक through gap हो जाएगा, through which a boat can also pass. Yes or no? So that's an arch. And when even this roof falls down, then these two will be separated. When these two will be separated, which used to be united in the past, so what will happen? What is left behind is your stacks and stumps. Everyone okay with the erosional landforms? Everyone okay with the bays, the cliffs, the headlands? Features done? So bay, stack, arch, cave, wave cut notch, wave backed by dunes. Dunes are just there are sediments are there. Collapse cliff. A cliff can break also. Cliff itself, as it is going retreating, will it fall down? It will fall down and get collected. So that's a wave cut platform, and this is how cliff retreat happens. Notch after notch is created, और जैसे ही cliff टूटता जाता है, so what is created behind? So can I say, as the cliff is retreating, the length of the wave cut bench increases. Length of the wave cut bench will increase. just like we were talking about LC King. Remember LC King, parallel retreat बड़ा होता जाता है, and what is left in between? Pediments are left in between. Likewise, this erosion is happening. This is called the coastal cycle of erosion. Coastal cycle of erosion. Did I connect the two? Everyone, did I connect the two? I hope it's not difficult. डायग्राम मैंने आपके सामने बना दिया है. The exchange of energy between water molecules also make the ocean crisscross with waves traveling in all directions. These waves cut across each other. They create interference. First occur when the crust and troughs are colliding, and as a result, different size of breakers hit the beach, and the beach will have all the sand coming in. Now, what is a longshore drift? I've already told you what is a longshore drift. Longshore currents, the back of the wave, which is still in deeper water, moves faster and parallel to the coast. So, parallel to the coast, that is called a longshore drift. Since ocean waves are one of the most powerful natural phenomena, they have a significant impact on the shape. They generally straighten the coastline. They generally, what do they do? Waves generally straighten the coastline. One of the most famous examples of the wave impacting coastline is that of longshore or littoral current. Longshore drift को littoral current भी कहते हैं. And how are they going to straighten it, sir? अभी तो आपने कहा वो तो बे बना रहे हैं, अभी straight करके दिखाता हूँ. Longshore currents are important to shape the coastline because they exist in the surf zone. Surf zone is जहाँ पे झाग बनती है, those sediments, that is called the surf zone. As such, they receive large amount of sediments. ठीक है ना? So everyone, I mentioned just now that waves straighten the coastline. Get that? I said waves straighten the coastline. But I just showed you that waves are making bays in that. So how are they straightening it? So first of all, waves push the coastline. When they are pushing the coastline, they make bays. And to straighten them comes another method, that is called the longshore drift, which will travel parallel to the coast. So in the surf zone, wave will break the sediments. Sediments are zigzag jumping over there, and what will happen? Longshore drift will come and transport them. Remember, erosion, transport, deposition. Longshore drift is going to come and transport them parallel to the coast. So what will happen? All the undulations usko fill up kar dega. Get that? So longshore drift, let us look at that also. How will it work? A diagram will explain everything. Wave is coming, marpit raha, sediments, they are broken or not? Sediments are broken. And who carries these sediments? Longshore drift. अब ये coast था, remember? This was the coastline. This was the headland. This was the headland. Now what did the longshore drift do? All the sediments which were there, longshore transported it parallel to the coast. And remember that bay which was created, this was a bay. Bay के mouth पर क्या आने लगा? A depositional feature, and that is called a spit. Is everyone okay? How a spit is created? Spit is a sedimentary extension of the coastline. The coast was like this, but what we see is that some sediments got collected like this. Yes. So just to give you an example, in real world, this is the coast of Andhra Pradesh. Here we have a lake called Chilka Lake, and here we have Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu, Andhra. Get that? And here we have the Chilka Lake. Now the longshore drift is working like this. So all the sediments, they got deposited over here. What is this created? This is a pit. And we know of this as the Sri Harikota Rocket Launch Center for us. Have you heard of this island? Sri Harikota. यहाँ से सतीश धवन लॉन्च सेंटर है हमारा. Everyone with me on this? Clear? spit formation and longshore drift. Does it explain us things? Everyone with me on this? Spit formation, longshore drift. डायग्राम आपको प्रैक्टिस करना है, जीसी लियोंग से कर लेना, जहां मर्जी से कर लेना. Now we are here. Everyone, let us look at this. Let us look at coastal depositional landforms. First the diagram, then we will look at things. So everyone, can you see a flat surface here? A flat surface here. Can I say this is a cliff which is retreating? This is the edge of it, no? And can I say these are headlands? These are headlands. And the wave wants to cut them. So wave ने क्या किया इसमें जाकर? The waves have created bays. Yes or no? Can you see bays have been created? ये bay बनाया, ये bay बनाया. Yes. Now what is happening is everyone, the longshore drift comes into action. What the longshore drift does is, this is the direction of longshore drift. वो sediments लेकर आता है and deposits the sediments parallel and here. So everyone, what is created? Has it created a spit or not? So this is a spit. This is a spit. And is it blocking the mouth of the bay? So it is a barrier spit. Is everyone okay? But still, can some water come out of the bay? Can some water come out of the bay or go inside? That is called inlet, tidal inlet. Everyone with me on this? In reality, did we understand a spit? Who's doing that? Longshore drift is doing that. Is the bay completely closed or not? Is the bay completely closed or not? Bay number A. Is it completely closed or not? Is it completely closed or still there is some inlet? So there is inlet, fairly good inlet. If the inlet becomes very, very narrow or at times totally complete, can you see or say that bay B is an example where the entire bay mouth has been closed? Yes or no? Entire mouth of the bay has been closed. There is no inlet in B. That is called a lagoon. Lagoon is a part of the sea, that has been detached or nearly detached. Part of the sea that has been detached or nearly detached by a barrier. This is a barrier spit. ये पूरा बे को barrier कर दिया. Get that? अच्छा, remember this. This is the headland. Can you remember this? This can remember stack and stump. Stack and stump. If the sediments connect the headland with a stack and stump, then we have a continuous structure or not? This continuous structure is called a tombolo. Beach you already know. How many of you understood what is a tombolo? What is a lagoon? What is a barrier? What is a spit? Who's acting in this? Who was acting in this? The coastal waves. They were cutting and making headlands. They were making cliffs. They were doing all the natak. They were modifying it. अब उस सबको flat करने के लिए कौन आ गया? The longshore drift. Done? So longshore drift is flowing parallel to it. It is carrying the sediments, and wherever it finds obstructions, वो धीरे धीरे block हो जाएंगे. Deposition includes barrier spits, bay barriers, lagoons, tombolos, and even beaches. A barrier spit is a landform made up of material deposited along a long ridge away from the coast. They may partially block the mouth, but if they continue to grow and cut off the bay, they will become barriers. So initially they will be just barrier spit, not a full thing. Barrier can be, they can be a barrier island also. Barrier island also. Get that? It is not blocking the mouth completely. There can be a barrier island also. Everyone with me on this? So there is a student, his name is Ankit. He is again and again saying, how is a barrier bay formed? How is a barrier bay formed? बे पहले बन गया था, बे का वो, अब इसमें क्या बताऊं, ये बताओ. आपके सामने एवरीथिंग वाज एक्सप्लेन्ड. द वेव हैज कट अ बे, wave has cut a bay. The waves are not strong enough to remove the sediments which are coming, and longshore drift keeps on progressively depositing the sediments. A point comes, पूरा sediments वो block हो गया. आप एक बात बताइए, घर के आसपास नाले में, नाली में, इन द ड्रेन, सच ब्लॉकेजेस हैपन विद प्लास्टिक और नॉट? पहले थोड़ा सा पानी जा रहा है, होता है या नहीं होता है? तो ये अंकित इसमें क्या पीएचडी करना चाहते हो, ये बताओ. आप समझ रहे हैं एवरीवन? आवर टॉपिक फॉर सिलेबस इज सी लेवल चेंज. आई एम डूइंग अ 10th स्टैंडर्ड वर्क ओवर हियर, एंड उसमें भी 10th स्टैंडर्ड वाला बोला इसे समझाओ. भाई बे बना, बे का माउथ है, क्या मैं कह सकता हूँ विद टाइम हो सकता है ये भी बंद हो जाए? व्हाट विल इट डिपेंड अपॉन? इट विल डिपेंड अपॉन द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ द वेव्स. तो आपके घर में अगर ड्रेन क्लॉग हो जाती है तो क्या करते हैं? इफ अ ड्रेन ऑफ वाटर गेट्स क्लॉग्ड, व्हाट डू? डू यू प्रेशराइज एयर इन दैट और नॉट? यस. अब अंकित कह रहा है यस सर, गॉट इट. व्हाट ही डिड नॉट गेट वो भी समझ नहीं आया था, अब व्हाट ही गॉट वो भी समझ नहीं आया. प्रोसेस है, आपके सामने कहानी सुना रहे थे, इसमें तो नोट्स भी नहीं बनाना था. यू पीपल फोर्स मी टू एक्सप्लेन दिस ऑल्सो कि सर वो बच्चों की तरह ये बताइए कि हवा कैसे चलेगी, पानी कैसे चलेगा. बट आई थॉट कि कुछ ले जाए ना ले जाए कोर्स से, आईएएस बने ना बने, कम से कम लैंडफॉर्म का चैप्टर जो डर लगता है, डरपोक बच्चों का तो कुछ सहारा होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए? बहादुर बच्चे तो आईएएस ही बन जाते. एवरीवन, वाज इट डिफिकल्ट? न्यूक्लियर फिजिक्स तो नहीं है, इसके लिए नासा तो नहीं जाना पड़ेगा. अच्छा. In this only waves were acting. In this only waves were acting, they were generating the sediments. Imagine if in the story, another fellow joins the party, and that is a river. A river also joins the party. And the river, remember, a river is bringing water, and the river is senile. River is senile. Tell me, does the river want to transport or does it want to deposit? The river is senile and old. It does not have the energy to push. अब रिवर कुछ करना चाहेगी? River is bringing the sediments to the sea. So the coastline originally was still here. The river is bringing the sediments. Now these sediments, river cannot move because river is tired. It does not have the gradient. वो तो डालेगा. But wave तो है. Remember, two things are there. Who is there? Wave is there. Wave should come and take it away. Yes or no? Wave should come and take away the deposits. The river is coming. River is tired. So the river cannot carry its sediments. River has started depositing it. But remember, the waves are an agent. They can take it away or not. Waves आएंगे, hit करेंगे, take it back. Hit and take it back. Why are they not taking it back? वेव है ना, वेव के पास पावर है, वेव विल कम एंड टेक इट बैक. वेव क्यों नहीं ले जा रहा है? Why is the wave not taking it away? The river is tired. River said, मैं तो अपना पूरा लाइफ पूरा करके आई हूं, अब तुम संभालो. Why is the wave not taking it away? Everyone, quickly. Ankit bola, because sediments are heavy. Who told you the weight of sediments, Ankit? Who told you that sediments are heavy? Did anyone? Can you, looking at this picture, tell me whether this is heavy sediment or light sediment? ये कौन सा फिजिक्स है, ये बताओ मुझे. Simple answer is all agents of erosion, if they are strong, they will be able to erode. If they are not strong, they will not be. So here Roshni writes not strong enough. Kaushik writes power nahi hai. Abhay writes power nahi hai. Simple answer. बट अंकित क्या कह रहा है? सर वहां पे सेडिमेंट्स जो हैं वो हैवी हैं. कैसे पता भाई तुमको? अंकित को ये भी मैंने कहा ना, अंकित को ये क्यों नहीं समझ में आया था? लगून कब बनेगा? When the waves are not strong enough. Waves are not, see, longshore drift is bringing sediments, it is depositing. Waves can always go and hit and remove the sediments. Remove करते रहे तो inlet बना रहेगा. But if the waves are weak, what will happen? भाई हम sediments डाल दें, wave भी weak है. सर लेकिन longshore drift तो ले जा सकती है. सर longshore drift is there that can push these sediments. हाँ तो पुश तो किया, ये पूरा पूरा कचरा तो किया है इतना, ये सब उसी ने तो किया है थोड़ा बहुत. बट रिमेंबर longshore drift is not very strong. It can spread the raita, it can spread these things, it cannot take it. So but tide भी तो आता है, tide भी आ सकता है. Can I say, everyone look at the screen, A, B and C. A, B and C are three forces which could have taken away the sediments brought by the river. River is the boss. Get that? So can you see mathematically, when will a delta be formed? Whenever the forces of waves, tides, longshore drift and all are weak compared to the amount of sediments brought by the river, then the depositional activities will lead to the creation of a delta. Which river will not form a delta? The river that does not bring a lot of sediments. The river which at its mouth has strong waves, strong tide, strong longshore drift will not form a delta. How many of you understood delta formation? Deposition से बनता है. So delta formation, why is it that some rivers form delta, some rivers don't form delta? भाई delta के लिए sediments चाहिए. Yes. So rivers which are long enough, which have huge catchment, which are loaded with sediments, there is a chance that they will form delta. That's good. But when they meet the ocean, at that place, if the coast is high energy means high winds, high waves, longshore drift is also swift. What will happen? लाते जाओ, मैं हटा रहा हूँ. So delta by definition should be a process of deposition on the surface and beneath the water also. पानी के नीचे भी deposit करता रहता है, because remember when you enter the water you slow down, friction is more. So it is subaerial at the surface as well as beneath this thing. The sediments are getting deposited and the removal is not very effective. Delta, coastal accumulation both subaqueous and subaerial of river derived sediments adjacent to or close to the stream, that is called this. तो बैरियर आइलैंड भी समझ में आ गया. अ नैरो रिज ऑफ सैंड just offshore running parallel to the coast. अगर यहां पर एक आइलैंड बन गया everyone, this will be called a barrier island. So it is parallel to the coast. It is parallel to the coast. It's a narrow ridge of sand. Yes. So what is the difference between a spit and a island? Spit is connected to the coast. Spit will always be connected to the coast. Tombolo will always be connected to the coast. But an island or a ridge of sediments which is parallel to the coast and not connected, that will be called a barrier island. Tombolo bhi ho gaya, delta bhi ho gaya. All landforms done. Khush. Everyone, coastal processes, landforms clear or not? Coastal processes and landforms, everyone, is it clear? इसमें कोई डाउट है तो पूछो. चलिए फिर अब किस में आ गए? सी लेवल चेंजेस पे आ जाए. बहुत सारा कर दिया हमने इसको. कोस्टल डायग्राम्स एंड ऑल दैट. दैट्स व्हाई आई से ना प्ले विद डायग्राम्स. डायग्राम बनाएंगे नहीं, कसम खाए. सर डायग्राम कैसे बनाए? मैं तो आईआईटी से इंजीनियर हूँ. आईआईटी से इंजीनियर हो तो कोई ये थोड़ी है कि मेंटली कोई प्रॉब्लम हो गई है. आई रियली एक्सपेक्ट यू टू बी मोर क्रिएटिव एंड मोर दिस थिंग रिप्रेजेंटेटिव इन योर माइंड. क्या सिफारिश से हो गए थे यार? कैसे हो गए थे? जुगाड़ उगाड़ ढूंढना था क्या पास होने के लिए? बेइज्जती मत करवाओ यार. सर मैं तो इंजीनियर हूँ. हाँ इंजीनियर हो तो क्या हो गया? डोंट पुट इंजीनियर्स टू शेम इफ यू कैन ड्रॉ. ट्रू. सर मैं ह्यूमैनिटीज़ हूँ. अभी ह्यूमैनिटीज़ बहुत टाइम था, ड्राइंग तो कर ले. और जो ड्राइंग करेगा वो वैसे ही समझ जाएगा यार. सी लेवल चेंज. व्हाई डज द सी लेवल चेंज? जल्दी बताओ. अब हो गया पूरा प्रोसेस हो गया. सी लेवल चेंज, ये चेंज ही क्यों करता है? व्हाई डज द सी लेवल चेंज? क्विकली टेल मी. व्हाई डज द सी लेवल चेंज? मेनली ग्लेशियर मेल्ट ना चाचा. मेनली ग्लेशियर मेल्ट नहीं, तुमको ग्लेशियर मेल्ट ही पता है. अगर ऐसा ही होता तो हमें ज्योग्राफी वाले स्टूडेंट्स को ये टॉपिक नहीं देते हो. मेल्टिंग ऑफ आइस, मेल्टिंग ऑफ आइस. चलिए तो सी लेवल चेंज, डेल्टा हो गया. डेल्टा डेल्टा डेल्टा, कोस्टल इरोजनल, ये सब हो गया. बीच बम ऐसा दिखाई देता है. एवरीवन कैन यू टेल मी ये इतना सुंदर फ्लैट सा एरिया क्या है? दिस वेरी नाइस फ्लैट हार्ड एरिया. दिस इज हाउ द इरोजनल सरफेस ऑफ कोस्टल प्रोसेस लुक्स लाइक. ये क्लिफ है, रियल पिक्चर है आपके लिए, सो दैट यू कैन सी. यू कैन सी दिस इज अ स्टैक, this is a cliff, and this whole area is like a headland, and that's a ship which is looking at the headland. बहुत सुंदर सा है. यहाँ पे शिप आएगा तो शिप विल कोलाइड. तो सबडक्शन ऑफ लैंड से हो जाता है, लेस अक्यूमुलेशन. कह रहे फोटोज थी आपके लिए. सी लेवल चेंज. सी लेवल चेंज क्यों होता है? ये सी लेवल है. कैन यू सी? सी लेवल इज गोइंग डाउन. सी लेवल हैज गॉन डाउन. सो दिस इज सी लेवल emergent coastline, और यहाँ पे sea level has gone up. So when the sea level goes up, that causes the coast to get submerged. That is called submergent coastline. When the sea level goes down, the submerged area gets exposed. That is called emergent. आशीष मौर्य कह रहे हैं सर चेंज इन वॉल्यूम ऑफ वाटर एंड वॉल्यूम ऑफ बेसिन. दैट शाश्वत मिश्रा, वेरी गुड. ग्लेशियल मेल्ट, ओके. Aishwarya is talking about glacier melt, sediments and land subduction. Very good. So ये land जो है subside और वो भी तो कर सकता है. earthquake and volcanic activity से भी हो सकता है. चलिए ठीक है. अब थोड़ा सा brainstorming आपने किया. Good that you have started talking about this thing, eustatic. Eustatic. On land and to changes on sea floor, eustatic. उसके बाद क्या हमारे पास, आइसोस्टेटिक एंड टेक्टोनिक. ओके, करेक्ट. Three types. Eustatic. Very simple. Change in volume of water in seas. Tectonic. Change in volume of basin. ठीक है. और सिंपल, आसान है. Let me first explain and then we will talk about it. ठीक है. So eustatic sea level change. Eustatic sea level change. Change in volume of water in oceans, seas. Say for example, ice age. Volume reduces or increases. Oceanic water is converted into ice, so the volume reduces. Therefore, sea level falls. Can I say negative movement? Done. Interglacial period. Ice melts. Volume increase only due to land ice melt, not floating ice. So if ice is floating and it melts, the volume will not change because already it had displaced that much volume. Do we get that? So whenever we are talking of sea level will change, that will only be because of land ice melt. So Antarctica and Greenland पे melt होगा तो वही पानी add करेगा. Floating ice, if it melts, does not lead to the rise in the sea level. What will happen? Sea level rise will happen. Positive movement. Is everyone okay? तो जो पहला पॉइंट आपने कहा कि सर आइस आइस आइस, सो पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव मूवमेंट्स कैन हैपन depending on this. What will be their impacts? What will be their impacts? This is your homework. सोच के आना, because I have to wind up the class. So that is for tomorrow. We'll talk about that. What will be the impact of eustatic sea level change? ठीक है. अभी जो भी आप सुन रहे हैं कि सर कोस्ट जो है डूब जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा, वो हो जाएगा, अच्छी चीज़ है. ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग का काम है. ब्रेनस्टॉर्म. आई विल ऑल्सो बी टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट टुमारो. ठीक है, चलेगा. कैन आई गिव यू दिस होमवर्क? दूसरा क्या है? आइसोस्टैटिक changes leading to mean sea level. This was the mean sea level. Okay. And this was land. Now what happens is, everyone, during ice age, ice comes. Is ice heavy or not? Ice comes, ice heavy or not? What will happen to the land here? What will happen to the land here? Land will get what will we call this as? Isostatic subsidence. तो मूवमेंट क्या कहलाएगा? पॉजिटिव या नेगेटिव मूवमेंट? व्हाट हैज हैपेंड? सी लेवल चेंज. पॉजिटिव या नेगेटिव मूवमेंट? पॉजिटिव या नेगेटिव मूवमेंट? So this is positive movement. Na? C relatively got up. Very good. Okay, one more thing. One more thing. ये क्या है सर? What is this? Can you identify and tell me? Fold mountains were created. Fold mountains were created. Remember, there will be weight on the lithospheric plates. What will happen to the asthenosphere? Asthenosphere will shift to the side. So क्या हो जाएगा? Crustal bending होगा. Again, have I given you real examples? Real examples. What is happening? Positive movement. Land gets depressed. True or not? Opposite will happen as a result of denudation of fold mountains or melt of glaciers. True or not? Both these situations will lead to uplift of land, therefore negative movement. Everyone clear on this? Possible? Are we clear on this? Is it possible or not? With me on this? Third one. A. Basin volume change. True. B. Same basin but more sediments and volcanic eruptions. What will happen to the volume this time? The ocean basin is same, but since the space has reduced, will the sea level rise or not? Is everyone with me on this? Is everyone with me on this? True. तीन किया है. Three of them. One example I have to give you is. तो इसमें क्या हो गया? With respect to the coast ये बढ़ गया, ये पॉजिटिव मूवमेंट हो गया. और इधर क्या होगा? इधर नेगेटिव मूवमेंट हो गया. There's another example which is a little technical example, doubling of continental plates. Juan de Juca going beneath the क्या आइलैंड है? वैंकूवर, ब्रिटिश कोलंबियन प्लेट. एंड वहां पर लैंड ऊंचा होता जा रहा है. सो विल टॉक अबाउट दैट टुमारो. टेक्टोनिक उसमें आएगा. डायस्ट्रोफिक. तो टेक्टोनिक में क्या है? प्लेट के अंदर का प्लेट का मूवमेंट. प्लेट्स आर मूविंग. कैन आई से डाइवर्जेंट प्लेट्स? ट्रू. यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है, कन्वर्जेंस भी हो रहा होगा, ऑल दोज थिंग्स आर हैपनिंग. सो दैट्स व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट, 3 टाइप्स ऑफ सी लेवल चेंजेस. दैट इज व्हाट आई हैव टॉक्ड टू यू. I want you to read something on the internet about, read something on the internet about this thing and try and answer these questions जो मैंने क्लास के स्टार्ट में दिए. एक्सप्लेन इमर्जेंट एंड सबमर्जेंट कोस्टलाइन विद डायग्राम्स. ये इसका आंसर आज का होमवर्क है, सोचना है इसको. व्हाट आर हाई एनर्जी लो एनर्जी कोस्ट विद डायग्राम. एग्जामिन सी लेवल चेंजेस एंड देयर ग्लोबल इम्पैक्ट्स. आज ये 3 आंसर लिखने हैं सभी लोगों को. होमवर्क क्लियर टू ऑल? होमवर्क क्लियर टू ऑल? Find out what all will go in these answers. Find out what all will go in these answers. And I will be definitely giving you more inputs related to them in the class tomorrow. Since I have to wind up this class, so that is why I'm ending this class at this. उसके impact सोचने, brainstorming करना है. Everyone with me on this? Clear? सर इज करंट ऑल्सो कैरीज सेडिमेंट्स. बेटा एक तो पहले इंग्लिश सही करो. इज करंट ऑल्सो कैरी सेडिमेंट्स? करंट्स ऑल्सो कैरी सेडिमेंट्स डेफिनेटली, बट करंट्स का is a bigger thing, and when we are looking at that, currents are more seen as a heat transfer mechanism because they are more impactful in the deeper areas. They don't impact only on the surface, they have a depth also, so we'll talk about that. Especially tidal currents are more impactful, they will carry the sediments also. that थोड़ा currents के बारे में और पढ़ेंगे तब ये है. But as you are saying, winds, currents, tidal streams, longshore drift, they all are the forces which are going to remove the sediments on the coast. Clear on this? So homework करिएगा. So अंजलि, I hope you got your answer. और तो किसी का कोई question नहीं है, बाकी questions कर लेंगे. I need to start my journey for the appointment with the doctor. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Jai Hind.